There we go. Okay, folks, just want to double check before we get started. I'm going to run the disclaimer there for you for your use and understanding that this is for educational and instructional purposes only. But before we get started, I just want to double check that everything's running okay on my end because I was having issues with my computer earlier this morning. So let's just double check that. Bear with me for just a few seconds here while I double check that everything's good. Okay. All right. And go. All right, give me just 1 second while I double check that everything's running okay. I think it should be. All right. Give me just 1 second while I double check that everything's running okay. I think it should be. All right. Give me just 1 second while I double check that everything's running okay. All right, I think we're all good to go. Everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Boyan Petreski. All right, I think we're all good to go. And there's that. Okay, so we're all good to go now. The technical difficulties are out of the way, finally. So let's go ahead and get started with our session today. So what is our agenda today? We're going to look at the current market environment. We're going to execute on new trades, and we're going to manage those brand new trades. Interestingly enough, here we go. Good morning. The chat from YouTube isn't showing up here into my chat overlay here on the backend system. That's something I gotta talk to Jose. So let's go ahead without much further ado. Let's go ahead and open up the TradeStation workspace for the short-term time frame climates and see what's in store for us today. With the markets, quite the down day from what I saw in the news flash on everything but crude oil. Crude oil heading to the sky again. It appears. Oh, here we go. Now I saw my chat here, but not this one. So, okay, that's interesting. All right. So, what are we looking for here? We are looking for what's already presented to us right here, which is a confirmed market climate, along with a near sensible short or near sensible long, depending on the color of that climate. And as we see right here, this is our climate column. We want to see a color here. We don't want to see the grays here, or if we do see the grays, and it's about time to the climate to update, then maybe we look out for that just in case it gets confirmed. As of right now, though, the Nasdaq and gold are both good contenders to open up and take a look and see if we have any trades to take. So let's go and get gold, and let's go and get the Nasdaq 15 open as well. And I'm just gonna open up to see how we're looking on this end. Yeah, there we go. We are. Let's just go ahead and. So this is what I typically look at anytime. I need to see what the latest and greatest kind of charts are. Sorry, not charts, but the contracts where the most volume is. That's the front month contract. Is the one that we're trading. Right now we have metals for gold open. We see this on GCQ 22. And then, of course, the indices are on the June still. So we just have to change GCQ. Let's pop that there at GCQ 22. Just chatting on the back end here with the folks that I was working with before when I was doing the 3D market commentary when nothing was working. Oh, what did I do? GCQ22. I changed the NASDAQ and QM22. Because as I said, and I kid you not when I tell you this, I'm very tech savvy. But even being tech savvy, sometimes when a computer says I don't want to work, and it won't work until you restart it, and obviously I couldn't restart it mid-session because you lose the session. Anyways, it's interesting to see that it happens, but here we are. All right, let's focus on some trading today. So for the veterans out there that you already know that probably would have already been here right now for the because this just literally just happened. It touched into that UFO right there. However, let's go. It's already giving us an opportunity, so let's go and sell this at market, and I'm going to explain why and how and everything. Let's move our stop to where it needs to be, and then I'll explain it. 80. That can't be right. 68, 680. This one I won't even count. I'll just do it as an explanation. 680, 85, right? Yes. All right. Again, we're not taking this one as an actual trade. I'm just going to use this as an explanation, and then we'll go from there. Um, because this is, unless you're taking this with the micros, it's substantial risk and all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and adjust this because I feel like it's easier to sometimes show these things visually as opposed to, just going at them hypothetically. All right, there's that one. And let's go ahead and set this up, and then I'll explain it in just a second. So 12, 514, 75. 12, 12, 514, 75. All right, so why is it that we set up what we set up? Well, let's go ahead and explain it right now. So at the point in time that we were looking at this market, right? First of all, now it's gone, but again, we saw it together. There was a red UFO here, like that, right? Okay, this is what it looked like before this kind of went away from us. I just realized this isn't. This should be a little further down. I thought I dragged it the right way. 820. There we go. All right. Now I thought what we're doing here is the following, right? First, the first chart that we're going to look at is this chart down below, which is the market climate. And I'm just going to disable the audio UFO so you can see it easier. All right, so the first thing that we look at is the auto climate chart down here. What is it that we need to see on this auto chart climate? Well, we need to see that we have a confirmation to the climate that we're looking to trade in. And as we see right now, we are on the 4th out of 4. So we have only this window of time to work when it comes to trading this market. Now, obviously, so that means we're on the tail end of this market climate. This is the typical deviation, or as we call it, the standard deviation, and this is for down, so I can't really do an arrow. So what I'm going to do is this. All right, this is the standard deviation down, and this is, of course, the standard deviation up right here. So that means that this market goes down for 4 15-minute time increments. That's the typical amount of time that it goes down for. That means we're still okay to take a trade up to that 4th candle. So meaning, in about 2 minutes when this thing reconfirms, we're essentially allowed to get out of this trade. Again, I'm not really counting or taking this trade as anything because, this trade has basically $1,600 risk for one trade. Again, to be risking 2% per trade for this kind of a trade, you would need a substantial account. So let's go ahead and take a look at here to make sure everything's still looking good. Yes, it is. Okay. So as we said, once we have a confirmation in that climate, and as you see right now, it is no longer confirmed. Therefore, we're okay to close this. But let's go ahead and analyze this as if it was still an active trade, as if it was still a trade that we should be taking. So the reason why we took it is because we had a confirmed climate. Now, the other factor that determines whether or not we should be taking a trade is the following, right? We need to have something that gives us an indication of where we get in and where we get out. And that indication is provided by the auto UFOs combined with a standard element in trading, which is a moving average. This gray line that you see here is a 9 EMA. EMA. This 9 moving average is kind of giving us an indication of where the market, may be coming up to. And once it touches that EMA, we're expecting some sort of a bounce. Well, right now, it touched it right there, right? The market, again, remember this kind of goes like that, right? It's not recording the wiggles of the candle when you're looking at these dots only. But at this point, right, we did have a cross right there in the moving average. We did have a touch, so therefore it made sense for us to take this to the short side. Now, where we enter is also determined by a couple of other factors. Those couple of other factors are these UFOs that we see and that we saw. We had, again, we had 2 of them here that have both been used up, right? We had the 2 UFOs over here that told us, hey, listen, we have a stacked amount of orders looking to be filled at this area, so this would be a good point to enter. And that's exactly what we did. So we got in, we set our stop above the UFOs in the white space, meaning when you're going short, right, you got to look for space above. When you're going long, you got to look for space below. But your stop cannot be within a UFO, right? Because then you're kind of putting odds against your favor, not in your favor. Last but not least, as far as our stop, our entry, and then we have our stop. We have our T1, which is down here below. T1 is supposed to be a 1-to-1 setup, right? So that way, once we and of course we take 50% off at this T1. So T1 and then 50% we take off. Obviously, we're only trading 2 contracts here, but if you were trading, if this was 4, obviously this would be 2 and so on. But nonetheless, 50% of it you're taking off the table at 1-to-1. That means that even if this market, does something like this, you didn't lose money. You didn't make money, but you didn't lose money. All right, so that's kind of the goal that we're trying to get at. And it's, once you get T1, it's a bit of a relief type of feeling because not only is T1 connected to a trading psychology information that we have if you took our backtesting or our trading psychology courses, but on top of that, once you're kind of free of that risk, you could go elsewhere, look for opportunities in another market to be able to execute on it. Okay, so that's that for this one. And then, of course, our final target, the one that's going to make us the money, right? And we've seen final targets fill a couple times on our channel here live while we were trading. All right, so this UFO was just created right here, just additional information that we should not be taking that trade. But initially, when we opened up the trade, this was the UFO that we were looking at, right? So 12/5/13/75. This is the first opposing UFO on this larger time frame, right? Because we're trading very small here, but this 15-minute time frame is technically our larger time frame when compared to the other time frames that we're looking at right now. Okay, so just want to make sure that everybody follows along, and then what we do is we essentially just look for opportunities in these other markets and see what kind of information we gather. Interestingly enough, the 2 that were confirmed are unconfirmed right now. So let's go ahead and close this. We'll just leave that on. It doesn't bother us right now. But as we see, crude oil is a near sensible long. It's currently on the third one out of typically 10. So let's go ahead and open crude oil on the 15 and see what oil can give us for today. Now let me just turn that down. All right, let's go ahead and kind of rescale this properly. I think, yeah, crude's definitely rolled over as well. Looking at the actives in the energies, we're seeing that crude oil is on the N at CLN 22. All right, so for crude, we're currently looking, as we saw, we're looking at an up climate right now. 118.86 is the moving average, which is right there, essentially just a little bit above. However, this UFO is close, but it is not close enough. As you see, price is currently touching it at 118. 87, 118.89. So it's right around the price where the moving average is. However, we do not have a UFO that's close enough that we can execute on. Now, that's not to say that when the market opens, we won't have that, but it is interesting, to sometimes just to watch it and see how it moves. Because if it pops right now, it's a good chance that on one of these climates that are a lot more sensitive, which are the thick bars or the shear bars, we might see some unfilled orders that we could take a trade on. Okay, so right now for NASDAQ, I'm just going to close this. We don't need to worry about it anymore. Obviously, that was just for explanation purposes only. All right. As we see, actually, the NASDAQ has not only changed direction, but it's actually confirmed itself as an up climate. So let's see what we have right now. So 12,647, that's within this UFO here. So we could actually, okay, now realistically take this at market long. All right, let's just adjust this as we said. So 1244.25. So we're going to go to 44. So 770 there, as we see there. Okay. We're going to take our T1 up to here and our T2 all the way up here at 12,801. Okay. 12,801. Place that order. That's that. Now, something that I always do when it comes to this stuff is I take a screenshot because it's extremely important for documentation purposes to have all this stuff. And today is 0531, and this is the NQ 50-minute setup. There we go. All right. As I said, our stop is at 12,644. And our T1 is at 12,682.50. There we go. All right. So that's for that one. As I said, right, stop goes into the white space, 770 is the total risk for this trade, T1, 1-to-1. And our final target way up there, 2755. Whether or not it comes up there, that's not for us to worry about right now. As once T1 hits, we also have our trail stop adjustment to be taken into account. So this seems to be going the right way, and so is crude oil. Look at that. All right, so 118. Wow. Yeah, there's no catching that. That's like, um, right? Didn't I tell you that maybe we need to watch this a little bit? Look what we just got ourselves there. We might have been able to catch this on the way out, but right now it's already moved too far. So Nasdaq looking like it wants to hit that T1. We're going to see what's going to happen. Of course, the market is opening in 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So we're going to see how this pans out. Let's see if crude oil can potentially give us a chance here. 118.92 is here. 118.96. Okay, so to be a little bit more conservative, I'm going to take this at 119.04. The reason why I have to be a little bit more conservative is because I'm expecting T1 to be hit on Nasdaq already, and it's looking like it will, but it hasn't yet. So it's like, come on, Nasdaq, give us that T1 so we can take this crude oil trade. So at least that's the rule we have to follow. Okay, we just lost the one UFO there on crude. 73. What did it wick to? Okay, well, looks like that's moving away from us, and this looking like it's gonna hit that T1. Come on. The best case scenario is to have T1 right before the open. There you go. We got T1. All right, now we just need a new UFO to move our stop to, and we can just let this run. Obviously, we have a bit of a top here, of course, on basically on all these time frames. We have a double top essentially there. What I'd like to see is, or what's surprising me is that on this kind of a move up, we're not seeing any UFO occur on the way up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We got about a minute and a half to go before the open. Obviously, price is pulling back a little bit right now, but let's see which way this takes us. And you what's it called? Let's say you were trying to catch this now. Obviously that train has sailed. Right, the ship has sailed rather. The train left the station. The ship sailed. There's no UFOs anywhere near. So there's no way to take this trade right now. But if you took it with me, you got your T1. You are in these, I would say one step less than the best case scenario. Best case scenario would have been if we had a new UFO pop right before this open so we can move our stop. So then it's a guaranteed profitable trade. But here we go. Get, strap yourselves in, buckle up, and get ready for the market to open. Now that we have oh my God, you're kidding me. You're kidding and killing me right now, crude oil. Kidding and killing. Should we be a little bit more aggressive and take this a little bit higher? As you see, look at crude oil just go. My God. What? Oh, something. Okay, well, the market opened, but what just happened here? Okay, well, the market's open. Great. I think it slipped us, is what it is. Like, there we go. We have a new UFO here. Let's move that stop there. So that's safe and definitely profitable. this one, I feel like it did like, oh, crap. That's on me. I didn't move the T1, so it already gave me T1 up there. Oh my god. Okay, so we are out of the Nasdaq trade. We can still kind of wait and see if a new UFO forms there. That's what it was. I didn't move the targets on the crude oil, and it filled the targets before I could even move it. Pushed down to almost the stop, right? And also, I didn't even screenshot this. That's not good. And then pushed back up to our entry point, and right now is right around there. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pass on this right now because I didn't trade it right. That was on me. That was a mistake. But hey, the Nasdaq trade was a winner. Let me take my screenshot here. So 2022 0531 NQ 50-minute, actually NQ T1 and trail exit. There we go. So that one's done. Again, things, crazy things when it comes to market movement are expected when you're okay. So crude oil is giving us another chance, so we have to take it, and let's try to get this set properly now, if it can let us, without moving too far. Let's see, 91. So this has to be 90, 480 there. Let's move these guys up, 480. And where was our final target? I know it was, actually, we don't have a final target on crude. All right, cancel that, and let's take a screenshot. Now we're cooking. 22 0531 CL 50-minute setup. Not the best of the best case scenarios here because, as you see, it is currently on the fourth candle up out of typically. Oh, sorry, never mind. I take that back. For some reason, I thought it was fourth out of 4.3, right? 5, but it's not. It's actually 4 out of 7, so we're fine. 4 out of 7, so we're looking good. All right. Let's open up the climate window. Yeah, crude oil we already have open. Okay, the Russell is also giving us an opportunity here, although it's probably going to start going into the negative there. Yep. Look at that. The rest of them are unconfirmed, negative on the sensibles, negative on the sensibles. That means it's trading below its moving average. So it's not unheard of to see that happen. All right, 30-year note is giving us a near sensible short. So let's open the 30-year note. That's something I haven't traded in a long time, but I have really good friends that trade it like it's their money. All right. Let's take a look here to see how we're looking. Oh my God! I just realized my my overlay was right there on top of the climate. All right, let's go to financials. We are on the September, so therefore that is the US U22. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Ooh, missed it by 1/32, if that's where it is. Let's see. Not quite. No, it's quite far. At 139, 1532s. 139. Oh, actually, it was right there. 139, 1532s. Why does it look so far? 950. Yeah, okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. So, it wouldn't have filled even if we were on time on this. 1632s right here would have been the trade with a stop. Let's see here. 19. That's going to be right on it. Yeah. So it'll have to be the 139, 2732s, is it? It's too far. Still meets the criteria. All right, something filled. Looks like crude oil T1. All right. Okay. We just need a new UFO. And if it stops us out, we made a whole bunch of zero money. We paid the broker so we could play, right? We paid to play, didn't get hurt, didn't make money. And that's quite okay. Bit of a late morning start for me, folks. So bear with me. This trade setup would have looked something like this. Now remember, this moves in $32, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, right? We got 9 times 32 times 2, so that's 576 on the table if you were to take that trade. All right, crude is doing its thing. Not moving a whole bunch, not giving us a whole bunch of chance to do any adjustments other than the fact that it popped to T1, giving us a chance to trade other instruments, which are currently all unconfirmed. Okay, I'm gonna go and say that this is gonna definitely take the turn and become a unconfirmed climate. I'm sorry, not uncovered, but a confirmed down climate. Look at that sell-off! Holy cow! And you can kick yourself over and say, "Oh my God, why am I not in this trade?" Well, if your instruments and your trading says that, listen, this is not confirmed, maybe stay out of it for a bit until it confirms itself, then maybe that's what you should do. At least that's what I'm doing. Try not to think of it as FOMO, but try to think of it as, hey, listen, I didn't get hurt trading this. I didn't lose my money. I didn't lose my mind. There will always be the next trade. It's never going to be, oh my God, this was the trade, right? I mean, sure, if you catch the absolute top of the market and you were ticks from being filled, then sure, okay, you can maybe take the rest of the day off because that's the trade you missed. But if you're not, I would say, just wait for it, be patient. There's always going to be the next trade. All right. So as we see, all of these instruments are coming down hard. The only one that we're not seeing come down as hard is the Russell. So I'm just gonna, in preparation, open the Russell and see if we might have a chance to jump on this to the downside. It'll be interesting to see. It's always fun when you're looking at the charts and you're like, whoa, I need to resize the chart to see where current price is. That's how far price has moved from the current point, unless you have it on auto scale, right? But look at that move. Oh my God. And it keeps getting lower and lower and lower. Okay, so right now we're still in our crude oil trade. Not a whole lot of anything happening. Oh boy, this actually is right on it. Oh my God, did I? Okay, come on. No, come on. Don't do me dirty like that. Oops. 25. Yep. Oh my god. Why did I cancel that? I thought it was gonna be gone. So I just canceled it. I thought, this is already moving because look at that move, right? But of course, the index is fell off a cliff here. Look at this, 12, where we got out essentially was the top. Can you believe that? 12,680 something was the top there, and it fell down. This is 100 points, about 130 points. And this happened over the course of how many minutes? Right? This massive drop off here is um, a 2 minute, 4, 6, 8, 10 minutes that we're looking at here. So 10 to 12 minutes. Looks like crude oil stopped out. Yep, crude oil stopped out. Finally, grass was drying faster. Um, so we should have an update to the climates in about 4 minutes here. But this is just, it's quite the sell-off that we're seeing here. It's interesting. Interesting. Not a whole lot to do, but watch. Russell has come up. As you see now, it's negative 1.5 ATRs, more or less. Crude oil is confirmed up on the 60. Look at that. So crude oil up on the 60. Okay. See if we can have anything there. Around the 77 mark, and does not look like we do. Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have anything on the crude oil 60-minute to interest us right now. We're just going to go ahead and close it. All right, let's see here. We have a minute 20 to the update of the climate, so we may have something to do shortly. I can't believe. I mean, it's not a guarantee that you would have gotten filled on this one. Don't get me wrong, right? But if you were one of the ones to put their, trade there, you could have gotten filled, and you might have even gotten filled on your T1 on this. Yep, definitely would have gotten filled on your T1 right now. I canceled it because once I saw it push down that far down, I was just like, yeah, I'm not seeing this come back. Just like a move something like this, you're not gonna see this come down to you that quickly. And this one just went down, popped back up, and is going down again. So it is what it is. All right. We have 15 seconds until we have an update to the climate. This will obviously become a confirmed down climate. The question is where will the moving average land, and will we have a potential chance to jump on this? So 12,611 is on the Nasdaq. So to take a trade up here, it would not be unreasonable to take a trade up here at 12,624.5. So 12,624.5 would not be unreasonable to take a trade there. 624.5. Again, this would be an extremely small risk trade. 37.75, so that would be at 38. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and adjust that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, of course, our final target would be the first opposing UFO, which is 12.15, 12.514.50. 12.514.50. Okay. And this is what our second setup would look like. I'd like to take a screenshot of this before it goes crazy. So 531 and Q 50-minute setup number 2. Okay. As you see, pushing quite hard, bouncing really hard off of that area. The question is, will it meet our UFO? In my opinion, I think it will. It's currently at 619. So do we see it happening to 624? If it pushes up another, 40 points, I would say probably. So let's see. Crude pushing lower, unconfirmed. So we have permission to close this as well. And not going to give up on it just yet. Although, as we see, the UFO is actually gone. It's currently at the 5. So yeah, we could adjust this down to the 13, I think it is. Yep, 13. Even on the 12, we can go in. The problem is our stop. I mean, we can't do that. We could do this. It's not exactly. It's less risk, for sure, but there's also a bigger chance that you get just stopped out just by an uptick of volatility. Yeah, I mean, this is a viable setup here. The first confirmed down climate. Wait, how come it wasn't confirmed before? It was confirmed before too. Weird. Okay, all right, NASDAQ pausing before that area. Russell popping up as well. Let's do this here. 71. 71.30. This is at the top. 70.50. So for the Russell, the better option would be to take it up here, 17.13.10. So right here. All right, but I don't think it's gonna. No, I can do the chart trading, but it doesn't pull with itself the OCOs, which is annoying. But nope, not what I meant to do. Okay, nothing there. This seems to be falling off a cliff again, or rather, just pulling down. Not really. It depends on what you consider falling off a cliff, right? Okay. Let me just double check something. Did I take? I didn't take the. So this is the setup, but I didn't take the screenshot of the crude oil um, T1 to 1. So let's open that up. Crude oil on the 50. I didn't take a screenshot that, um, it was a stop out. So, well, not, it was a break even, but still I need to take a screenshot. So that way this is nice and clear. Okay, so let's take that, save. So we got 2022 05 1. That's CL T1, and then we had break even. Okay, the reason why I'm doing these a little bit more now is I'll show you why. When you go to tradewithufos/Boyan, I'll share that caption with you down below so it's easier for you to see. Once you go there to that link, what you'll see is actually the following. This is what it looks like. But over here, you'll actually see the live trading, notes once we adjust this to the proper way where you can see, this is what we got in, this is where we got out, and so on. And this will be, for you to take a look and analyze and see like, hey, yeah, this works, or hey, this doesn't work for me. So, yeah. And then, of course, we do have the platform that are supported, the everything that's there that's typically available during our news flash is also available there as well. Any questions you may have, you can always ask a question. People will see it. Most of us, either the predictive team or ourselves, we can answer it ourselves. Other people that are part of the team, and so on. So, yep, that's that. Crude oil might be readying itself for some lower move there. Russell already doing it. The 30-year. The same. So not a whole lot has changed, folks. All right, so I don't think we're going to see any modification to these markets. But by the time we end the session, um, so far things have been moving a little bit out of whack, but that's okay. All right, it's not a big deal. And that's that. I'll catch you next time. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.